I'm just grateful that Andy is here and I get to introduce her to you. Andy Teeter, Superstar Director.
Yeah. This is so cool. I've never had one of these. That's super loud. Is that loud? Is it loud? Can you guys, maybe in the back, can you hear me? We good? Okay, guys. So what Jeff meant to say, I told him, I was like, I think they put me after lunch on purpose because I'm so squirrely. Like, you guys won't have time to get bored because you're after lunch wanting to nap, and I'm like all over the place. Like, we're going to talk about this, and now we're going to talk about this, and you're like, oh my God, what's this girl doing? So they're always like, put her after lunch. She's super hyper. So I'm Andy Teeter. I'm a Superstar Director. I'm going on my sixth, I can't say that word, year with Scentsy. And first, I just want to say, what a great day it is today, right? Why? Why is today great? Right? Let's talk about some good things. What about like simple things like most of us had a car to drive in here. Most of us have a roof over our head. We're breathing. We're healthy enough to at least come here, right? We have so much to be thankful for. And on top of it, we're business owners. We're the coolest people in the universe because we're with Scentsy, right? So many things to be thankful for today. So let's take a minute to be thankful for what we have and not look at people and compare. Be thankful for where you're at. And if you don't want to be where you're at, today's the day where you can walk out of here and change your life forever, right? All right. So a little bit about me, if you care. I drive a Jeep Wrangler. I love Boston Terriers. I'm a travel addict, thanks to Scentsy. Thank you, Scentsy. I love Kung Fu movies, and sloths are my favorite animals because they're so cool and they smile all the time. How can you not like a sloth? Josh and I, my husband, he is in the Coast Guard. Yes, we didn't get paid for 2 paychecks. Yes. But we got paid, don't worry. Anybody else here military, have kids in the military, husbands, you're in the military, please stand up. I know Kayla, we have active duties. I know, stand up. Josh and I have been, oh, I forgot. I have 2 sons. I'm the worst mom ever right now. They're going to watch the video. Keegan's going to be like, Mom, you didn't even talk about me. My youngest. They are, seriously, I never thought I was going to be a mom, and it is the biggest joy of my life, which was the reason I joined Scentsy, because I didn't want to miss a moment of their lives. So, Josh and I have been lucky enough to be on 11 incentives in 6 years. Wow. We've been to Greece. We went on the cruise. We've been to Costa Rica, was our first one, which was amazing. That was a game changer, which I'll tell you guys about in a little bit. I always strive, people say, well, what happens when you get to Superstar Director? What do you strive for? Well, first to get paid a title. We still want to get paid a title too, just like you guys. I want that money, that's why I'm here. And our annual sales and mentor is a big deal. If you guys don't know what that is, please look it up and learn it. Because it cannot only give you cash bonuses, but because I'm striving for that, I earn trips, and because of that, I build my business. Do you see how that flows? I'm not saying you have to earn that to earn trips, because there's a lot of people who don't earn annual sales and mentor that earn trips. But I'm just saying it's a good place to look up to. I started out in a small town where I didn't know anybody. There were lots of consultants because we didn't have the cancellation policy when I joined. So lots of consultants, everybody was like, everybody sells Scentsy, you're never going to do well here, it's a small town, you got to know people here, you don't know anybody, blah, 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 blah. I have horrible anxiety and panic, which, see what happens to me when I get nervous? I get horrible, and nobody believes me because I'm such a social butterfly. They're like, you don't have panic, but my friends can all tell you. They're all shaking their heads, all our teammates. They've seen me at some point or another have a panic attack or have an anxiety attack. It's real, it's serious, and I'm unmedicated, so I'm crazy. Okay? But guess what? If I can do this, you guys can too, right? That's why I tell you that I have these things, because I want you to know I'm nobody special and I can do this. I can stand up here in front of all of y'all and feel like I'm going to crap my pants. But I'm doing it, so you can too, right? How do you do it? We were wondering, like, how, because we were wondering sign language. I went, now I'm watching it. I love it. I'm seriously watching. I watch them when I never listen to trainings because I'm always like, so I had a boy on my school bus. This is, see, squirrel. I gotta tell you this real quick and then we'll get back. So I had a boy on my school bus in the 2nd grade and he taught me sign language. So, but now I want to know more because he only taught me the basics. But then we were like, well, what do they say? Like, what are bad words? Not that crap's a bad word. But like, so there are, my question is, are there curse words? Oh snap. I gotta know. But I think that I love, it just amazes me so much. So, squirrely, back to Scentsy. So, I also want you guys to know that in my 4th month of Scentsy, I missed director by $47. Right? Wow. I woke up the next morning, thought I was a Scentsy director. Scentsy is like, no, actually you missed it by $47. Because the systems were down. Back then, like, systems went down, and you didn't know where you were at, what was going on. It was a nightmare. Steffi's my sponsor, Blondie up here. It was like 3 in the morning, and we're like, got it. People were like texting me, oh, good job. Nah. And I even asked Scentsy to do an audit, and they were like, no, it's right. I was like, are you sure? So I cried the whole next day. I got up, I brushed myself off, and got back to work. You see, guys, I sold $6,700 that month, so really, I wasn't ready for a director. Even though I thought I wasn't. I needed to build a team, because who wants to sell that? I mean, no offense. Selling that much is great, but who wants to do that every single month? I mean, that's a lot, right? But it is a good paycheck. I lost my grandma that raised me that month. Just things were just not falling into place like I had wanted. Mind you, too, I didn't hit shooting star when I started. So anybody, yes, I'm not taking it away from people that hit it. Please don't get me wrong. But I'm telling you, you can be a superstar director and not hit shooting star. Matter of fact, there are superstar directors that were kidnappers that didn't work their business for a year, and then were all of a sudden like, I think I'm going to go for director. Started building a team, and then 3-5 years later, we're superstar directors. So I want you to know, it doesn't matter where you're at in your journey. What matters is when your butt hits that door, what you do. Okay? Amen. He's like, amen. So let's see. We are here to talk about jet setting and goal getting. I'm going to give you some nuts and bolts things at first, some good things that I do for my business, and a lot of us do to earn trips. And then we're going to get into the most important thing that we can talk about today. I'm not going to tell you what it is. Today, I'm going to help you find your worth, believe in yourself, move forward in 2019, and I'm here to empower you today. No matter how tired you are, I want you to walk out of this room energetic and ready to hit the ground running. Can you promise me that you will give this year the best year if I give you my best in the next 30 minutes? All right. So first, when I hear that a trip incentive is coming up, the first thing I do, team, what do? Does anybody remember? I print out the trip qualifications. Because if you don't know how to earn the trip, how are you going to earn the trip? Right? If you don't know how to get paid at title, how are you going to get paid at title? You guys have to see these things every single day to remind yourself. So what I do is I print out what I need to do to earn the trip. We all know, if we've ever tried for a trip, there's a million different ways to earn it, which is awesome for us. There's not just one way. Scentsy does not just give directors and above trips. You guys have no idea how lucky we are. A lot of these companies, it's only top 100 in the whole company that earn trips. Our company does not do that. How lucky are we that we have the opportunity? When it comes out, it's at the ground. It's all up to us, and if we put in the work, we get the trips. What is the most important thing that I do when I start to think of any goal? I start to think, where am I going to meet more new people? It's called network marketing, guys. And if you don't like people, you're not nice, and you're not talking to people, I don't know why you're here. Because it is called network marketing. Okay? That means you have to get out online, in public, and you have to meet people. You have to talk to people. I say that you have to make small talk, but we have superstar directors here that hate small talk, so I don't really know if small talk is the answer, but I know it's how I, for example, who can give me some ideas when you're in public, how to talk to somebody you don't know? So take Scentsy off of your mind. I gotcha, hold on. Take Scentsy off of your mind, okay? We're gonna learn how to make friends, okay? Not Scentsy. We're not gonna go up to people and be like, you wanna buy Scentsy? No, that's not networking. I'm already wearing my shirt. They see that I sell Scentsy. They know. So, white shirt back here. Compliment them. Who doesn't like a compliment? If they're wearing an ugly ASS scarf, do not tell them it's pretty if you don't like it. That's not what I'm saying, all right? But genuinely give somebody a compliment. They have nice eyes. Tell them, you have beautiful eyes. I know it sounds weird at first because you're like, I don't know this person, and they might be like, do I know this person? Like when somebody says something to you and you're like, do I know you? But then after you think about it, it's like, oh, that was really nice. They complimented me. Pickle, did you have? Perfect. The weather, right? Who doesn't? Like, I'm just thinking about two old men, like they would talk about the weather, No, but you're right. Right, the weather. Everybody knows about the weather. It's outside. If you're outside, you're in it. So perfect. Anybody else have any ways? Yeah. Yes. Right, your tribe, right? So that brings me to my next thing. So here's the thing. We have to aggressively be intentional. I think that makes sense. And what I mean by that is you have to be intentional when you're going out at your mommy groups, say you're on a Boston Terrier page, right? They'll be on there because I'm networking there. If I see y'all, I'm going to kick y'all off. I'm just kidding. But I mean, if you have a page knitting or whatever you do, if you're on that page, be intentional every day. Take 5 minutes. If you're not going to go out of your house, take 5 minutes to meet 3 new people in a group that you're in on Facebook. Or if you're at that mommy group, I know it's easy to just retreat and not say anything because we have to come back to our comfort zones, right? We can't talk to people. We have fear. We have this little guy on our shoulder telling us that we suck, that we're fat, we're ugly, we are not fun. Guess what? Most people are not thinking you're not fun. It's all in your head. You're telling yourself that. And when we tell ourselves things, we believe them, right? We're going to get to that later too. The quality of your business, the quality of the business you have is equal to the number of people who are in your network. And know that you're a Scentsy person. So think about that. I'm going to say it again. The quality of your business you have is equal to the number of people that are in your network and know you are the Scentsy person. You're not the Scentsy / Beachbody / LuLaRoe / paparazzi / whatever. You are the Scentsy person. Okay? What does that mean? I'll give you a perfect example. Where I live, I have a huge network of people, and I haven't even touched it. I haven't even dented it. Matter of fact, when Kayla, Sensational Star Level 3 earner, down here, when she joined, she was like, you already have all the customers. I'm like, first of all, we live in Northern Virginia where there's like a billion gazillion people. There's 30,000 people on the base we live on. And she would not believe me until she joined. Guess what? She's having like $2,000 months, recruiting people. She's like, oh, you were right. I'm not going to lie to you because then you're going to be mad at me if you join and it doesn't. But if you work for it, you can get it. It doesn't matter. What is that? Is that my hair?
Yeah, I think it's your
I'll take it out. Why didn't you guys yell it? Look, he's like shaking his head. He's like, it's driving me nuts over here. But this girl scares me, so I don't want to take out her earring. Okay, so every Sunday, whenever I started getting into this networking groove, I printed out a sheet. It's called 10-10-10. Some of you might have heard of it, and you can make your own. I don't even have that PDF anymore. I just do it out in hand because, I'm not sophisticated enough to use Excel. So 10, 10, 10. Write the 10 places you're going to go that week. And it could be in a group on Facebook. So the 10 places you're going to go. Restaurant, doctor, work, church, okay? The 10 people that you may see, so each place, you might say, I'm going to go to Ruby Tuesdays, and I know the hostess with the blonde hair will probably be working. She's one person. I'm going to go to the doctor's going to be there, whoever, right? So it can be generic. And then next to that, the 10 things you learned that week about that person. What is this going to do? I know y'all are walking through life. You know why you say the hostess with the blonde hair? Because you've never asked her name. You see her every week you go to eat with your family, and you don't even know that girl's name. You don't know Pam that has red hair. You don't know that the host or the receptionist at your doctor's office. You don't know her name is Pam because you never asked her. But listen to this. When you learn Pam's name, okay, this is the sneakies, right? Learn Pam's name, you go back to that doctor's office the next time. You've got your testers in your hand and your Scentsy shirt on, and you say, hey Pam, how's it going? That's it. You're not gonna be like, hey Pam, how's it going? You wanna see my testers? No, not yet. Be subtle now, come on, y'all are crazy. You go, you say, hey Pam, how's your day going? I remember last time you said your dog was sick, and Pam, so her dog is her baby, right? So Pam is like, this girl remembered my name. No one has ever remembered my name. In 3 years I've worked at this office. This girl is special. She cares about me, and I want to know more about her. Do you sell Scentsy? Yes, I do. Oh, I'm wearing my shirt today. And that's how you start, guys. And then Pam might be like, I love Scentsy, I need a refill. Pam, why don't you take this bag? I'll leave it here with you for the week. You get the hostess rewards for it if you collect a couple of orders. I get hooked up with a paycheck. We're all happy. You don't tell Pam that because you want her to think it's all for her, even though you are getting something out of it. So please don't say, Pam, you're hooking me up with a paycheck. She gets that part anyways. But in the end, you could say, Pam, you collected $500 worth of orders. Have you ever thought about doing this, even if it's part-time for a little bit extra income? Pam might say, not until now. But now that you say it, Pam, did you know you could make $125 right now off of this, and you still get your hostess rewards, and you can even use your hostess rewards to get a kit for free? Pam's gonna be like, sign me up. Boom! Done. What was that one? I love that. That made me really happy. Okay, another thing I do, front-loading months. How many of you guys front-load your months or know what that is? Just my team. So, somebody in the back. So, front-loading months means, for example, I go for $2,000 every month because, again, I'm in this for the money and I want that extra 5%. So, 2 weeks before the beginning of the month, I have my party set up, right? Let's say I want 6 parties by the 15th. I front load that month in the 1st to the 15th. That way on the 15th, how many of us have been at the end of the month? All the time. It never failed. I hated it so much. Felicia, how many times? Look, I told her to call her out. She's like, please don't call me out. I pulled her on stage last time. She's covering her face. But even when she started doing, I remember when you started doing that, it does work. It really works because then you're sitting in the middle of the month. Maybe you want a $2,000 month and you're only at $1,000. Well, you know you have 2 more weeks instead of sitting at the end of the month being like, how am I going to pull in another 1,000? Front loading is the key, guys. Massive partying means massive recruiting. Now think about it. Doesn't that make sense though? So you are going out and networking to a bunch of people, then you get a lot of parties, you're meeting a lot of people through those parties, then you can recruit. The problem is, we miss this last key. All these people that we're partying with, we're not getting their contact information, we're not finding ways to keep relationships with them, to keep in touch with them, and we're not planting seeds about recruiting. Or when we do, we'll do it for 20 people, and then we'll be like, I didn't recruit anybody, I quit, it doesn't work. I'm here to tell you it works. It does, but you have to keep with it, right? Let's see. I need notes because y'all don't even want to hear me speak without notes. Parties. So parties are alive, guys. Everybody says, like, all the time, oh, home parties, I can't do home parties. I'm telling you, parties are alive. I have to talk people out of it, I'm not going to lie. I talk people out of it. I'm like, no, you just don't you want to have a bag party? I'm such a bad superstar consultant, so I shouldn't have told you that. But seriously, people want to have them. That's my point. People want to have them. Parties are not done. It's the wording that we're using. So how much better would it be if you said to somebody, hey, why don't you take this bag around with you for a week, I always say collect 10 orders. You know why? That gives them a goal, and 10 orders usually equals $500 or more in sales, right? So I would say collect 10 orders from friends and family. We'll do an online thing, you know, us on the side too for you in case you have family and friends that live outside. And that's what I don't say party. So if you're using the word party, try to transition into other wording, like maybe you could tell them, hey, why don't you be my brand ambassador? You get free stuff. I'll give you this little bag of testers. You can smell all the testers. You can take them around to your friends and collect orders. Here's what you get for free. I never ever say to people, you only need to do a $200 party. Why? It limits them, right? They're going to be like, oh, Andy said I only have to do 200, so whew, I collected 4 orders, I'm done. But if I say 10 orders, don't you want the most free Scentsy that you can get? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, then 10 orders, $500 is what you need, girl. Because or guy, I'm sorry to say girl. I try not to say that because there are guys that host parties too. I have lots of them actually. One's joining this week, yay. Okay, on to, I have these all planned out. Okay, where are we at on time? Okay, yeah, we're good. Okay, so what is next? Creating your goals. So first thing I have to tell you guys, anytime you go into a goal, you're going to spend 80% of your time on yourself, on your business, and 20% if you have a team. You're not there to find answers for your team constantly. There's 2 reasons. Number 1, it's going to burn you out. And number 2, they are independent consultants. Our job, and I'm going to get into money here in a little bit because I share money and I'm a firm believer in sharing money because I want you to know what you have the possibility to do with your business. And if I'm creating people to be codependent on me, I'm not creating leaders. And I want directors on my team. I want people to move forward. If I'm telling them the answer all the time and not telling them where to find it and not creating that independence, they're not going to feel good about themselves and they're not going to feel like they're a leader. Does that make sense? Right. It's not, and if your upline does that, it's not to be mean. It's to help you, trust me. If you're much better off, even though you don't get it now, because I know in the beginning I was like, why isn't she just telling me the answer? So, break down your goals. You cannot eat an elephant all at once, right? We have to take it in bite-sized pieces, right? So here's 3 different kind of people that I see join our team. You're a hobbyist, okay? Fine. If you're a hobbyist, you should be putting in $200 a month. Why? Because when you have a hobby, you at least spend 30 minutes a week on it, usually, right? So if you're going to say Scentsy's your hobby, then you're going to spend at least 30 minutes a week. Meaning you're going to have at least 1 party or you're going to collect 4 to 5 orders from friends and family or yourself. So there's no 200 every 4 months. That's crap to me. It's just, I don't know. I don't even get it. Number 2, part-time. Part-time people always come to me and they're like, I have like 15 minutes, 30 minutes a day. I just want to make 200 to 600 a month. And I'm not telling you, by the way, none of these people are unimportant on your team. Everybody has a role and everybody needs to be happy, and that's whatever your goal is. You don't have to reach for the $2,000 a month if you don't want to. It's okay. You're still important, and I want you to feel that way. I'm just laying out these 3. So part-time, $200 to $500 months. If you haven't built a team, I always tell people to strive for 3 to 5 parties a month. That would equal 1,000 PRV and 1 recruit every month or every other month. Okay, so if you want that income, that's what you're going to do. Now, of course, when you build a team, you're going to get bonuses off of them, and that's going to change, and it's going to become bigger. Now, who is in this to make $1,000 a month? Okay, so that's a nice chunk, right? $2,000 a month. $5,000 a month. $10,000 a month. $20,000 a month. $50,000 a month.
All the money.
Did you guys know that there's people in Scentsy making that and more? Isn't that crazy? We're going to talk money. Okay, but real quick. So, if you want to be a director and you want to make $1,000 or more a month, you're going to want to build a team. I always tell my team to make the most money you can. You're making that 5% bonus on your $2,000 plus months. So 8 to 12 parties a month is what you should strive for. And 1 to 2 recruits consistently every single month. Do I have months that I recruit 0? Yes. I'm not saying I don't. I will never tell you I don't. But I'll try to make up for it. And that next month, I'm not going to lay down and be like, oh, I didn't recruit. I'm probably not going to recruit in another 3 months. No, I don't let myself get in my head. So my goal is always 2,000 minimum. That's like bare minimum that I want to do. If you want to earn annual sales, it's $2,500 a month if you break it down. Okay? If you want to earn annual mentor, you're going to have to recruit usually about 24 to 30 people a year. If you break that down, that's what? 2 a month, right? About 2 a month. Okay, so let's talk about micro conversations. So do you guys have any good one-liners that I have a one-liner I'm going to share with you. One-liners that you guys maybe, that's your pickup line for recruiting. I would love to hear people that have like a good way that they kind of, no? Nope. Let me ask you this. How many of you have had 5 join conversations this week? Be honest. That's what I thought. Now, how many of you that said you wanted to make $1,000 or more are those same people that have had 5 join conversations this week? Even less. See what I'm getting at? I'm not going to shame you. I'm just saying. So, we have to grow. Where was I at? Squirrel. See, here we go. One-liners. Thank you. Nobody has a one-liner? No, seriously, that's kind of my pickup line, I call it, right? So I'll share with you mine. I don't overshare with people. They do not need to know about set warmer of the month and blah, 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 and what you make at a director position. They don't need to know that. You're oversharing if you're telling them that stuff. This is simply what I say to begin with. Have you ever thought about doing what I do? You'd be awesome at this. That's it. If you're legit saying that, start with 1 person a day. Maybe during your follow-ups, because we all know we have to do follow-ups in this business to stay alive. If you're not doing them, you need to find out a way to do them consistently and keep up with it. If you're maybe following up, why not say, hey, by the way, have you thought about doing this? You'd be amazing at this. What's the worst they can say? Okay, move on, right? We've all heard about the waitress offering the coffee. Some people drink coffee, some people don't. You're a waitress, you're offering coffee. Maybe they don't like coffee, you go to the next. It's fine. Do not take it personally. Don't go off crying. It's fine. So then I plan a call with them. If they say, hey, I have thought about it, let's talk. I plan a call or a meetup, 15 minutes, or a lot of people don't even want to do that anymore. They just want to talk on Facebook Messenger, which is fine. I answer their questions, but I don't overshare. I answer their questions, I tell them the basics about the kit, and that's it. I do not tell them anything more because it's just going to boggle their head, and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, I can't do this, it's too much. Okay? Give them bite-sized pieces. So here's a couple of things that I think are revenue-generating things that we all need to be doing with our business, and the rest is fluff, basically. And what I mean by fluff is, samples are great. Some people tell you they believe in samples. I don't really do samples. I never have. I just think it's a waste of time sometimes, and it's fluff to me. You decide what you want to do. I'm just here to tell you what I do. So I implement, like I told you guys, the 10-10-10. One place a week. Start with that. One place a week that you're going to go where you can meet people and be intentional when you go there. Okay? 2, follow up with your customers. Not only follow up with your customers, follow up with your teammates. The more they put into their business, the more time you're going to put into them. So if it's your hobbyist, maybe once a month you will Facebook message them, hey, how you doing? You don't have to ask them where they're at with their Scentsy goals or anything like that. Hey, how are you doing? Hey, I saw your husband was sick. How's he doing? That's it. If somebody puts a little bit more in their business, maybe you're, like with some of our leaders, I talk to them constantly because they're working their business a little more. They're putting a little more time into it, so you're going to talk to them a little more naturally. The other thing is plant seeds every single day. If you're not waking up thinking about how you're going to plant the next seed and you're not excited, your business is not going to grow. Get excited. Think about creative ways that you can plant the seeds with people. I was in the dentist chair one time. The dental hygienist was cleaning my teeth. I'm looking up and there's a picture of a beach, and this was before I went on my first incentive trip. And I was like, that's so pretty. Don't you just love the beach? She's like, yes, we can never vacation. I hate it. And I'm like, we're going on a free vacation to Costa Rica. Now, mind you, I'm like, like she's in my mouth. But that's what I mean by planting seeds. And then they're going to be like, how are you going on a free trip? If you haven't been on a free trip, say, I'm working on a free trip. Or, guess what? I just joined. My upline's been on this trip, blah, 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 and I'm going to earn this too. Isn't that exciting? Free trips? That girl ended up joining, by the way. That was cleaning my teeth. Let's see. So team building is super important. Building relationships, not just talking about Scentsy. Some things that we do, we have a Marco Polo set up with some of our leaders that we talk back and forth. Marco Polo is an app you can look up. We get on Zoom, is also a service that you can get on and do video chats. If your teammates don't want to be on video, they can turn the video off, it's fine. It's a way to get to know people, but we do training on there. That is the one time we do training. Personal development. How many of you do personal development every week? Please start doing at least, even if you're in your car driving to work, listen to, and I'll tell you a great one. Mel Robbins is doing the Mindset Reset. Yeah, some of my team's doing it, and they were like, it's so good, I had to start doing it, and they're right. And we're going to get into some of that so you guys can get a bits and pieces of kind of what she goes through, and I really, really urge you guys to do it too. Last thing is, take time for yourself. How many of you guys take time for yourself? Do a mental health, take a bubble bath at night, do some yoga, whatever you do to make you happy. Hobby, paint, draw. Not a lot of you raised your hands. Please take time for yourself. If you're not good, you're not going to be a good leader, you're not going to be a good parent, you're not going to be good at Scentsy. If you're not happy with yourself and your life, you're not going to go forward and have a successful business. These actions are obviously easy actions, but they need to be done consistently every single day. And the main thing is, you can't quit. If you quit because of one thing that goes wrong, it's like if you have one flat tire and you're like, I'm just going to slash the other 3 now. It doesn't make sense, is what I'm getting at. Just because you don't recruit for 2 months or you have a bad month doesn't mean you need to slash all 3 other tires. You just fix the tire and put it back on. So, okay. So, I want to talk paychecks with you guys. So when I started Scentsy, I remember being a lead and a star consultant, and I go through and I tell teammates this all the time and this is what you should share with your team. As a lead and star consultant, you see small bonuses and you don't see the potential yet. And it gets frustrating because you feel like you're putting in a lot of time and getting a little return, okay? And here's what I can equate it to. I don't remember who told me this, but I was like, this makes so much sense. You know those old water things that you, like, what are the pumps?
Yeah.
Right. So you start a water pump and you're pumping consistently. You start to get a nice flow out. But then you're like, oh, wow, if you keep consistently pumping it, not real fast, but just, consistently pumping, you start to see a nice flow. Even if you let go, it'll still flow out for a while, right? But if you totally stop, what happens? All over again, you have to start pumping again. All over again. That's why you can't stop doing your business for a week or a month and then expect to get back into it right away and for results to come like that. Lead and Star Consultant, you're going to start to see maybe $50, $100, $300 bonus, right? Superstar Consultant is when you start to see maybe, don't hold me to this, I'm just giving you an average, maybe $300 to $600 bonuses maybe, right? Director is where you start to see the potential for a full-time income. And what happens is when you're pushing towards that, you're earning trips, and then you're meeting other people that are making this big money. This is what happened to me. I was in the pool in Costa Rica, and this chick came along. We're drinking, having fun in the pool, and I didn't even know who she was. Apparently, she's a big superstar director, Joannette. She has a huge team, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like we're talking money. Nobody's ever talked money with me before in Scentsy." And she was like, "Oh yeah, like I made $350,000 this year." I was like, "What the? What? You can make that selling candles?" And my husband's there like, "What the?" And we're just like, Steffi, like we were all like, oh, "What do we need to do?" She said 2,002 recruits every single month, and you teach your team to do the same. Well, all right, and that's what I did for the last, 5 years. That's what I've done. And now I went from a team of 1, August 1st of 2012, to now we have a team of almost 500 and paychecks pushing $10,000 as the highest paycheck. And I'm a little guy in this. Okay, you're gonna meet these people and they're like, I'm making like 30,000. And I love when they share it. I'm never like, she's bragging. I'm like, please tell me more. Because it inspires me. I want to know that it's possible, right? That's why I'm telling you this, not so I can be like, look at me. I'm telling you this because if I'm a hot mess up here making that money, you could probably make more, right? Okay, so we're gonna do a little exercise real quick. We're gonna do an exercise real quick. Take out a piece of paper, and I want you guys to write down 2 things. If you're my team, you don't have to do this because you already know what's coming. So write down 1 thing that you're not good at in your business. So recruiting, booking parties, talking to people, whatever. And I want you to write down 1 thing in your life that has negativity. If it's so hard that you don't want to write it down because people around you, then you'll know it in your head. It's just easier to write things down. And you're going to see a visual as to why. But 1 thing that negatively happened that defined you, or you feel like defined you and haunts you about your past. Okay? We're going to come back to this, but just write those 2 things down. So 1 thing that you're not good at in your business, and 1 thing that negatively affected you that you just can't seem to push past. Okay? Okay, so we're coming down to the end. Oh yeah. 1 thing that you don't feel like you're good at in your business, and 1 thing that negatively affected you in your past. Okay? Okay, so how many of you guys are going to admit that you wear Spanx? I will admit it. I mean, I'm not right now, obviously. But, okay, so we also wear emotional Spanx. Emotional Spanx need to be taken off right now. You know why I'm telling you to take your emotional Spanx off? So many of you guys have not dealt with things in your past that is affecting your business still to this day. You still think because somebody told you were a shy little girl or you were a boy that wasn't worthy, you still think these things at 30, 40 years old. And that is what is affecting your business. The most out of anything we talked about today is the belief in yourself and these fears that you're telling yourself that just aren't true. They're not true, guys. And if you don't like something about yourself that you can change, this is the new day right now, okay? Take off your emotional Spanx. I need you to be raw and vulnerable. It's going to be scary and it's going to be exhausting this year for you. But the sooner that you face these things and it comes to fruition, that you can get past them, the sooner that you're going to have this beautiful business and be looking back and saying, I did it. But if you keep saying every single day, I'll deal with it then, I'll deal with it then, I have to take care of my family, I have to take care of everybody else but myself, you're not going to have a good business. I need you to stop minimizing yourselves. I need you to stop shaming yourselves. I need you to shout out the progress that you're having to the world, because it's not bragging. And I don't give a damn what somebody on your team tells you. Oh, she brags all the time. She's always So what? Because that one person doesn't matter. The other 99,000 on your team page, you're inspiring them to do better and be better. So who cares about that one person? Tell them to F off. Okay? Right. Amen. Stop deciding for others that they are not good for your business. We have doctors on our team, active duty military. Do you think that if I would have went to Kayla, like, oh no, you shouldn't do this, you're active duty, you're a single mom, you'll never be good at it. That's deciding for her, okay? You cannot decide for people. We had a doctor, her husband's a doctor, she had 4 kids. She's like, man, I need to do this just to get out of the house. She's like, I just want to get out of the house, away from my kids, like once a week to do a home party. But I was always thinking, oh, she's busy, she would never want to join, and she obviously makes enough money, so she doesn't need Scentsy. Wrong! She needs Scentsy. Stop sabotaging yourself. Stop listening to that monster on your shoulder that's telling you not to talk to that person. You have a good gut intuition. Use it. Use that gut intuition. If you're around somebody, how many of you have been around somebody and you're like, I should have asked them if they had heard about Scentsy. I should have, right? And you're like, they would have been perfect for Scentsy and you'll never see them again. So now they probably joined under somebody else. I've done it. That's what I'm saying. The things you're telling yourself aren't true is my point. Take your time seriously. You are the one who's deciding how busy you are. I am so tired of hearing excuses. Because when somebody tells me excuses, what it's telling me? Oh, I'm not busy. Like when they're like, I'm busy, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm like, oh, you're right, I'm not. I just sit with my thumb on my butt and wait for you guys to come complain to me. It's all good, I'm not busy. You know what I mean? Like, quit making excuses for yourself. We all have kids, we all have or had jobs, we all have illnesses, whatever your excuse is, it's your excuse and it's your decision you're making. You have to let go of control sometimes. Let your husband do the laundry even if he makes your white top pink. Okay? Let your husband watch the kids even if he lets the kids eat like Twinkies all day. We all ate Twinkies as kids. We're not going to die. You guys give me one excuse right now, and I will show you people in this room who have the same excuse that could be using it and saying they don't want to build their business, but they're not. They're building their business with that same excuse, probably 10 more, okay? So I will show you. So come to me and tell me your excuse, and I will bring somebody over and be like, oh, this person's dealing with the same thing, and they are a director with Scentsy, okay? Quit telling me there's too many consultants in your area, because if you look up on Consultant Locator, even though it's not totally correct, you will see who is a lead consultant, getting paid as lead consultant or higher in your team. If you put in your zip code, it's not a lot of people. There's lots of opportunity out there, and you're not taking it because you see stickers on people's cars and think everybody's selling Scentsy in your area. And they're putting in a $200 order every 4 months, and you're like, nah, I can't sell. There's too many Scentsy consultants. Quit comparing yourself to others that are putting their best forward. So remember that when we see people on social media, they're putting their best foot forward usually, right? They're showing you everything they want you to see, except for me, because I'll tell y'all. Like, I'll tell y'all if something's not, good about myself. I'm not perfect. But most people are putting everything good, and you're seeing all the good, and you're like, I can't, they're perfect, I'm never going to be like that. Meanwhile, this person's dealing with a whole heavy burden of garbage that you don't know about. So stop comparing your chapter 1 to their chapter 20, okay? Let's see. Okay, so take that paper out that we wrote. If you have it on a notebook, kind of tear it. I need you to. I know, you're like, I wrote it in my notebook and I don't want to tear up my notebook. Please do it though. So, perfect. We're ending, I think, right now. So, I need you guys to look at that, okay? Because of time, we were gonna tell each other like what. But some of you might say you're not a good recruiter, you're not good at booking parties, you were abused as a child. I want you to take that paper and ball it up and burn it when you get home or throw it in the trash. Okay? You believe what you're telling yourselves. If you tell yourself you're a bad recruiter, you're going to be a bad recruiter. If you tell yourself that you are the product of abuse and you're never going to be worthy, you're never going to be worthy in your own eyes, and you're never, I'm going to get emotional, you're never going to do what you're meant to do on this earth because you're beating the hell out of yourselves. I want you guys to throw away that paper, bury it, burn it, I don't care what you have to do every single day, write these things down, remind yourself, and throw them away. Done. Period. I want you guys to close your eyes. Today is the first day of the change of your life. You can take the choice to take the first step out that door into a new life, to create the business and the life of your dreams and take care of yourself. Or you can choose to stay where you're at, wherever you're at, in that unhappy place, not so happy place, or maybe it's a happy place that could be happier. When you leave this room, I want you to take each day with a vengeance. I want you to envision yourselves walking the stage as Scentsy Reunion as a director. I want you to envision yourself where you feel you want to be in your business on that trip. I'll never forget it. Walking in that clear water was one of my dreams. Envision yourself walking in that clear water on a trip. Give more than you take from others. Dig deep to find the best you that you can be, not the best Sandy Sue, whoever you see on Facebook. You are worth it. It's time to deal with your past so you can soar to be the butterfly that you were meant to be. Look that past in the eye and wave goodbye. Emerge from that cocoon. I love you guys. I believe in you guys. I need you guys to believe in yourselves. I need you to take chances, be brave. I need you guys to believe in your team, even when they don't believe in themselves. When you leave here today, you're going to deal with more pain, rejection, and negativity, but it's up to you how you deal with that. I want you guys to stand up. We're going to end here in like 30 seconds. Stand up. I want you guys to hold your hands on your hips because this is called power pose. If you guys don't know about it, look it up. This means we can do everything and anything. Yeah, power pose. I want you guys to inhale courage, exhale fear, and radiate belief and positivity to the world because it needs you. I love you guys.